Here are the land niches that are crushing it in 2025 and which ones aren't. So everyone is talking about buying land, but not every piece of land turns out to be profitable. So let's talk about where the smart money is going right now. Because, like the initial approach on land investing was just like sending mail to a county, take whatever it takes, and it worked for many years, but we're in 2025, that doesn't work anymore. When you start your land investing business over or are in the midst of it, right? You will come into a market right now in 2025 where there's more competition, where the margins are thinner because there's more informed sellers, and what we realize, what we're seeing working is specialization beats shotgun marketing, right? You really need to be pretty much aware what is your business model. And there's a lot of shiny objects to take, right? There's a lot of roads to take. But here is a takedown of what we are seeing working, what I see working in 2025 through different industries, because even in the land investing space, there's so many ways how you can do that. Let's get right into it. The first thing I see still moving are infill lots in high demand areas, right? There's certain areas in the country, high growth areas like Florida, like Texas, Southern California, where you have subdivision lots in pretty homogeneous subdivisions where you can market to sellers. And what you want to do there is an approach from the business model to turn those to builders with a quick like $4, 5, 6, 7, 8, $9,000 assignment fee. And how this business works is you line your builders up, right? You know what they're buying and which subdivision you're buying, and then you target sellers in that. And instead of negotiating them in a 40, 50, 60% discount on a deal, what you do is you negotiate them in a 10, 15% discount because you have a buyer lined up and can turn those lots really quickly. That's not working everywhere anymore. It's working slower. So you want to have 30, 60 days hold times, but that's, even if you don't have any money, probably the most desirable approach right now to make some money really quickly because these lots are turning fast, especially when you have the buyers list working up. The second thing, what is on the rise, are lakefront and waterfront properties. We see those movings because it's most of the time like signature lots, really high emotional context with the seller, where they want to have something where they can see the water every day and all that. The thing is, these lots are harder to get. You can't negotiate steep discounts, right? I was working this morning actually with a partner. It's a lakefront lot in Wilmington. It's worth around $3.8 to $4 million. You will not lowball somebody owning like this in a $1.5 to $2.3 million offer. When you do, there's probably a catch. I've seen that over and over again. You want to be creative of how you structure a deal with them, how you can be of service to move their property for them. A lot of times these are like high busy individuals that run companies that have a busy life that just don't want to take care of that, but they want to get rid of this. Then you can structure JV deals with them or get in a contractual situation where you can market their property for them, stuff like that. They move slower than before, but there's always people with money hunting signature lots down, right? Because right now it's also a pretty unstable investing market. So a lot of people are sitting on cash reserves, not knowing what to do with their money, and they're looking for properties like this where they have legacy building for their families and wealth building. That goes along with the next property class, recreational acreage, right? Works pretty well when you go outside the cities, 1.5, 2.5 hours. People with money are looking right now to put money into land to buy hunting parcels, to buy ranches, to buy farmland, to buy timberland, like something that has long-term value, right? Because they don't know where to place their money anywhere else. We see a lot of this. This market is slower too. You need to be prepared to take those lots down in the marketing cycle. That will not work on a double close, right? But there's a lot of buyers, people that are sitting on money that are looking, okay, before put it in the stock market, before put it in the next multifamily syndication, I just put it in some land, right? A piece of America, is that what I own? This is like your marketing claim. And we see a lot of people that are looking for something like that. So targeting recreational acreage for hunting, cabins, timber, agricultural land, ATVing, whatever, is really a huge deal right now. And the great thing about this is it's cash deals, high margins, so you probably want to be there. The next thing you can play in this market is a subdivide play to create products in markets that work. That means you buy larger acreage, right, and then sell little pieces off of that. This is a more technical approach. There's more loose ends. There's more things you need to do. But in high value markets, you can create a lot of value because oftentimes, like a 5-acre parcel sells for 2-3 times the money than 100-acre parcels per acre, right? So this is how you can add value to those properties. You can buy them on market, right? When you know your local markets. How you start this is by learning to know local markets, the regulations. You will need hard money to talk these deals down. Sometimes you can negotiate owner financing, but you will need surveyors, title companies. You want to pre-market a lot of these lots. It's a pretty technical approach and is much more than just a simple flip, right? It takes a lot to subdivide a lot and market it, right? Because you really need to buy those lots. Another approach we are seeing right now, there is a bunch of people who want to diversify their income and are looking for STR potential parcels, for short-term rental parcels. They want to place a mobile home, tiny home, RV or whatever for recreational activities out there. There's a huge demand in this for the markets, right? Because it's just a trend right now, right? To have that and to go down. What doesn't work right now? Guys, the times of desert lots are over. Buying something for 500, selling it for 3,000 on terms is like not a business model anymore. Your costs of doing that will eat you up in the process of doing it. Stay away from desert lots, right? When you go in a certain size and do solar and all that, right? Then I think there's still an opportunity, but the majority of those lots are, just like desirable. Stay away from that. And stay away from oversaturated markets. Lehigh Acres in Florida is not a market where you probably want to do deals right now because there's like $2,000. The only way how you can be successful in markets like this is with a buyer's list that you have that helps you turning those lots in 40 to 30 days, but the margins are thin. You really need to know what you're doing. Stay away from this. Why does that matter? Let's talk about that. You are putting money into your business to produce more money and depth over width, right? So what you want to do is really go deep in certain markets, identify markets that work and property types that work for you, right? Know that markets pretty well, have niche knowledge, and then be fast and build trust in these markets. Some people will come to you after 2, 3, 4 years and say, I'm going to sell to you because I'm watching you for a couple of years, right? So that's what it is. And also, partners and funders like to work with operators with a repeatable business model. So when you can position yourself in a certain market with a lot of loadage, when you need funding, like funders love that when you know that area pretty well and can show a track record in a certain area. So in 2025, generalists get average deals and they don't get a lot. Specialists get exceptional returns. Pick your lane, own it, and have a lot of success with that.